Hello, are you Arcos? Welcome to part three. We're joined by Andy. How are you doing, Andy?
Good, thanks, Russ. Yeah. Oh, well.
Kent doesn't seem to be coming on much lately. What's happening?
He's a good man, Kent. Is he busy? What's he been up to? Is he
We love Kent, don't we? I love Kent. Listen,
aye,
me,
brilliant.
listen. Anytime Kent wants to come over, right, from where he lives in Belfast, he wants to fly over here and stay over here in an hotel. All he's got to do is tell Big Richard, comes on channel,
Yeah.
lives over here near me. Tell Big Richard, and we'll get him over here. We're on a pre-booked sheet flight. We'll stick him in an hotel around here, and he can come and have a weekend here on us.
Brilliant, eh? If you get him on the channel live in the office.
That is not a problem. Kent, you want to come over here? Come over here for a weekend. Come and see me and Big Richard, and we'll make sure you have a good weekend. All right, Ken. We know you'll be a cheap weekend anyway because you don't drink.
I'd even come down at some point. I might try and come down at some point if he was. That'd be good. Good crack.
Richard,
Usually pretty, but
Big Richard's one of them guys. You've got to get him in right frame. What's the word? He's one of them guys who he'll go away for work for 10 week and then mega dough, and then come back for 6 week and just go out every day to gas lamp at Wickersley.
enjoy himself.
Yeah, well, it's nice in there. It's all right if you're paying 10 quid a starter, but it's all right in there. Yeah, listen, if you get in your fifties, you're not bothered here. My mentality is a little bit different to Richard's, isn't it? He behaves Richard's the same age as me, isn't he? But he behaves like somebody my age, whereas I'm a bit immature, aren't I? I'm a bit, you know.
Young at heart.
Well, if when I go out with Richard, he'll not. Richard, if you get to meet Richard, he'll tell you this. He'll not say this to you, but I know when I go out with Richard that he feels like he's babysitting.
Uncle Richard.
Be like, be like Terry Chapadama and Rico when they go out with me. They're like, "Oh my God, what's going to happen next?" And don't even get to start with
Um,
Dennis. Dennis doesn't even speak to me. He just has somebody hovering around me. You're one of them big galoots that work for him.
a big Benny.
I'm dangerous around alcohol and drugs. Is that a good? If I were going for a job interview, if I were going for a job interview and they says to me, "Oh, do you drink?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I do. Yeah. Do you smoke? No, I don't smoke unless it's weed. Do you take drugs? Yeah. What drugs do you take? Oh, cocaine, ecstasy. The usual." You're like, oh, don't call us, we'll call you. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is, isn't it? But what have you been up to these days up there with Andy?
I just busy with family stuff, eh? And then I like to doing my swimming and that, and I've not been working on cars much since I sold my Type R, eh? So that's a way. I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
actually missing
I
it.
wanted to ask you what did you do with that Type R Honda? Because did you do all brakes and all that on it and everything?
I did. I had it for 4.5 years. I had it, and I did loads to it. When I bought it, I got the front end resprayed, and then did all the brakes in it. Like took the wheel arch liners out, and just any kind of surface rust. Treat it all and underseal it all. And I think I put new struts all around in it, new springs. Just kept it in good shape. Yeah. Got the roof painted on it before I sold it. Because it was red, it's quite prone to lacquer POA. So. But it's in good shape when I went away. Aye, it's a good car, good fun car, but I can't justify having three cars. So.
You know
I've still got my
what?
old Merc though. Love my old Merc. Eh? Oh, 190. I can't justify having 3 cars at the moment.
Hey, listen, I used to have a 190 here.
So I love old Mercs. I think they're brilliant. Over engineered.
Well, on round about that, about 30 years ago, Mercs were built properly, weren't they?
Oh, brilliant.
Have we seen that in Floyd Mayweather's garage on that Cribs thing, where he's got the S500 Merc from 90s?
Oh, early 90s. 92, like the one Princess Diana got killed in. One like that.
Yeah, one of them.
There's,
One of them. No, that's not 97. One of them model. That were 96 that she died in, but she died in
yeah,
97, didn't she? Well, yeah, that
yeah.
particular that shape, because they were like bulletproof, from
Oh,
gearboxes to like
yeah,
the finish on the doors, and that is now. Well, the finish on the doors on them ones is like what's on like Rolls Royces now.
yeah,
That's how advanced it were. 50 Cent, the one they used in the 50 Cent film, he's got that one of that particular year. Because there's particular years that me and you all know about, and Julian and that. Certain cars that
yeah,
are like bulletproof, and that you'll tend to like grab hold of them. Like that Rav4 I've got.
yeah,
I'm not going to let that go because I'm being offered now money now for it that I paid for it, or nearly. And
yeah. That tells you something.
I've had it years. I've had it since it was like, what is it? It's an 11, and I've had it since 15, 15 or 16, 15 or 16. It'll be before I come here in 18. So I've had it 8 year. I've had it 8 year that. And do you know what? Being
Yeah,
offered 2 grand less than what I get for it. I says
yeah.
now.
Just hang on.
Yeah, well, first thing you do if you're going to use a bit of logic, you go on we buy any car, and you answer questions honestly, and then you get your valuation, which is bog standard, pretty shit valuation. But it don't mean it's for every car though, right?
Yeah,
And I made it all up, and I thought, okay. And there were 3 different people offer me like more than double what they offered. And at first I didn't twig on. I thought, what's going on
mm,
here? What is going on? But then you twig on, don't you? But yeah, so you got rid of it, did you?
I tell you, son. I tell you, son. I like. That's a way. Yeah. I tell you, son. I like doing. And Julian's probably the same, and you'd be the same as well. If you're into cars and you're kind of our age, there's me and a couple of my pals sometimes go to the classic car auctions. And there's a lot of 80s and 90s cars there. But I mean, you'll see the S-Class Mercs, maybe a 320, a 280, or a 320. So it's not the V8, but if you get the straight 6-cylinder one, it's probably going to give you less bother and more straightforward. But you'll pick one of them up for about 5 grand or something. Okay, one in good nick.
Listen, do you know who's an expert in them S-Class Mercs? Do you know who's an expert? Mickey Theo. You
Is he
know,
into them, is he? Yeah.
listen, when I went down to Mick's, right, I swear to God, he had a pitch down there. And he's an S-Class Merc specialist without the logo. Years ago, you used to get Auto Trader, and at back of it, it'd have
Yeah.
like specialists and whatever. And you get like 18 or 20 little logos for specialist Mercedes breakers or specialist this and that. Mickey Theo
Yeah.
knows everything about S-Class Mercs. That's all he were into down there. And like
That's his speciality.
he was trading S-Class Mercs left, right, and the centre. Obviously, he had a Bentley and that, but and a Range Rover. His missus, but it was a bit stereotype that in Essex. So husband's got a Bentley, wife's got a Range Rover. We've not heard that one before. But Mick's pretty sharp with cars, pretty sharp, and Mercs, S-Class Mercs, he were pretty up on them. And he used to
Aye.
trade all them and that bulletproof ones. I think it's 58 plate to 13, somewhere around about that
Yeah.
where they're like bulletproof. But I know somebody that bought one with 32,000 mile on clock, right, on a 60 plate last year, and he get a fortune for it. And I was like, oh my God, you did you? Well, yeah, I get like 18 grand. I went, oh, Jesus. But you know what? I also know somebody that's got a 1-year-old one now, which is a lot newer than that, and
Yeah.
depreciated 10 times worse. But I'd say that
Oh, depreciation's brutal, isn't
these ones, the 10-year-old one is built better than the one now.
it? They became mass produced, these cars, so didn't they?
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying to you. And I think I've said it to here before. I was speaking to somebody over there and I went, hey, up, mate. I goes, oh, up. He goes, you don't remember me, do you? He reminded me of that. Do you remember that program, Harry Enfield, where he's like, hey, you know, I don't think you wanted to know that, did you? You know, that Harry Enfield, that yippy fucking whiny character. Well,
Aye.
I bumped into one. He's like, you don't remember me, do you? I went, no, you.
Is
Oh,
that the, I'm considerably richer than you are?
yeah. Well,
That guy.
anyway, but listen, it is what it is. Tyson Fury and Usyk, does it happen February 17th? Yes or no?
I've said yes already, so I've got to stick by that. I've said it'll happen. So he's gone quiet, the new Tyson Fury. Is he knuckled down in training?
I'm hearing not.
He's
I mean,
not.
I'm hearing that he's in charge. He's like, what's the word? Tails wagging dog cat. Well, I'm not going to
Yeah,
say Peter Fury's my pal, but if you're in a Peter Fury training camp, you'll not be putting yourself about in that camp. You'll be treading on eggshells like the media
yeah.
do, like everybody else that goes up there. You were like watching your P's and Q's, wanting to get in, do your job, and get out. That's how I look at it.
Discipline. Discipline.
There's no messing about around there. It's like how can I explain it? I said I remember going home one weekend from Peter's camp with Bunny when Huey was training for Pula, and I was all right. Bunny, do you reckon I should take my mate next week? You were like, you are. You want Peter Fury has one of them like mentalities like if you're all working on a building site laying bricks in middle of February and you're freezing your bollocks off, Ross, I'd be like, yeah. Would all your mates want to fucking come and watch you fucking lay bricks?
Yep.
Like, no. He's like, well, there's your fucking answer. You know,
Yep.
that kind of thing. A bit like Mick fucking Whale. You know, he'd answer you something like that, Mick Whale. You know what I mean? You'd
Well,
be
no
like,
hangers on, eh?
yeah, you'd be like, oh, Mick, I don't feel like fighting today. Mick would be like, oh, why? And you'd be like, oh, well, because I feel like I've got a little bit of a pull in my back. Mick Whale would be like, a pull in your back? A pull in you what? And you'd be shamed into going into gym. You know, these old schoolers, they'd shame you.
Get
They won't,
yourself straight.
yeah, listen, people can say what they want, and I'm not going to come on here and be a Peter Fury arse licker, because Peter's like me, he's made mistakes in the past, hasn't he? But Peter will tell you straight, right? He won't have anybody in the gym dictating. Mick Whale don't. Them old schoolers don't. Dominic Engle don't. They don't have them like mums and dads in gym as
Yeah.
cheerleaders. And I don't agree with that. You're supposed to leave. These people are all tested. They're tested and checked out so that they can take your kids on pads and on punch bag and all that. You know that kind of thing. So why the parents need to be hanging around gyms saying to people like Dominic Engle, here, flex. Yeah, can you tell why you're not getting my lad Skylar to throw like more triple jabs we slipping up at right hand hook or chatting a load of shit. Dominic would be like, oh, he'd be like, what does he say? When they're paying gym membership every week and all that, can't really say what you want to say. Well, if it was something like me and it were my gym, I said, listen, keep your fucking snout out, Pop. Go home and leave it to experts.
Leave it to
So
the experts. That's what you say.
it went down well. If I ran something like that, it went. Then he said, oh, God. They couldn't leave me around like that because I'd say my bit. So it's best off that I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? Do you dance
Marriage?
around? Do you dance around the parents, Andy, and let the parents
No.
date? So you
Should
take
be
off,
should
off
be a
more.
closed should be a closed door with discipline behind it. That's the only way, isn't it?
You know your Scotch mate. You know them videos you keep sending me. What's he called?
Frank Feather, huh?
Yeah, he who does that. He does Sky Sports presenting and all that.
Ah,
Now
he does some football thing on there, yeah.
he's not going to have
Yes.
anybody coming into his gym dictating, is he?
No, no. He's old school, and he apparently had 200 amateur fights, and he fought all over the place. He won 175 of them. He said.
Well, I'm not going to
He's a,
say too much on him, right? Because he's a pal of mine, Mark Tibbs. But I mean, look at it like this. This is the scenario. Daniel DeBar's gone to Mark Tibbs's gym, Origins gym in Essex, with his old man. They've gone there. I'm not saying it was a trial or whatever. They've gone there. But let's call it a meet and greet, cup of tea, all that nonsense. Had a session and all that. After the session, within 1 hour, Mark Tibbs has said, and I quote, this is out there, everybody knows what's gone on. So I'm not speaking out of turn. Mark Tibbs has gone, and I quote, do you know what? I'm going to give it a miss. Now, when somebody who's got Dylan White at the time, British champion and WBC mandatory, when a trainer of that ilk and has got a world champion there, Ebony Bridges and whatever, and has been a number two to his dad for years around it all, grown up with it all his life, and 22 and 2 and 1 pro, 25 fights as a pro, 2 defeats. When am I, where Smith training for then? Sorry, go on. What were we on about?
Mark Tibbs from Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, when somebody like Mark Tibbs is saying, do you know what? I'm going to give it a miss. I think Houston, there's a problem.
He's
And
seen something there he
I
doesn't
think
like.
the problem is the parents. I think Daniel DeBar's. But I keep hearing from everybody and the dog that Daniel DeBar is like Anthony Joshua. That
Hmm.
he's the real deal. He ticks all the boxes. But there's problems in his head, like there is in problems in Anthony Joshua's head. And that's usually, in my opinion, a flat track bully getting punched back.
Yeah. You wonder
But
if the two
that's
both
fucking
of them
saying, do they?
both of them's dads are involved, aren't they? You wonder if they're planting seeds about like the fathers. Is that why he's
Let me
looking for
just have a piss. 2 seconds.
no probs?
Yeah, Andy, give me your top five pound for pound while I just have a piss because this will be a long one.
My top five pound for pound have probably got to have in no particular order. I've got to have an OU up there. He's now undisputed, isn't he, at super bantamweight. I've got an OU. I've got Alexander Usyk. Because I think Fury's going to have to be at his very, very best to beat Usyk. So discipline, his record is phenomenal, isn't it? So I've got to have Crawford up there. He's possibly the top guy, isn't he? Terence Crawford. Who else have you got? Tank Davis, maybe? What's that, 4? Tank Davis. Who else could you have up there? Possibly, maybe Bivol. Well, that Jai Opataya, I seen him fight the other day. He's quite lively, isn't he? The Australian cruiserweight guy, but he's maybe couldn't put him in the top 5 just yet. But definitely Dimitri Bivol's got a shout of being in there, I would say. Other possibilities could be, who else have we got? I think Canelo, for me, Canelo's on the slide now. And Russ wouldn't have him in because his previous drug test failure in his history.
Yeah, I went have him in my top 10 because he's a drug tube.
No. So I would say Bivol and OU, Crawford probably the top. Maybe Usyk could be in second place, I would say. And Tank Davis, possibly.
Who's your number 5 then?
Number 5, I'd probably go Bivol. And then Tank Davis. And then, who else did I say? And OU. Then Usyk. And then Crawford would probably have him number 1 at the moment.
What, Crawford?
Terence Crawford, yeah, I like him.
How would you think Crawford would go against Haney?
Against Haney, I'd probably lean towards Crawford. Crawford's 35 or something now. He's getting on a bit, isn't he? But he's a class act, Crawford, isn't he?
Yeah, it'd be way too much for Crawford. Would be way too much for Haney, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. He's a complete fighter, Crawford, isn't he? He's got everything, isn't he? His composure is just second to none, isn't it?
Oh, Crawford.
And Usyk, he's probably one of the best fighters I've seen him, say Usyk.
You think that?
So I'm intrigued. I hope it does go ahead in February 17th.
Do you think Crawford and Usyk will be destined for Hall of Fame, Andy?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. Yeah, the two active legends we've got at the moment, and should be. Hopefully, they'll hang about for another couple of years just so we can enjoy them. But I wouldn't be surprised if they retire within the next. Well, depends on. He's got a 2-fight deal with Fury, isn't he? Usyk, so he might retire after that. He might want to hold on a bit just to cement his greatness, so he cement his legacy. Because I think Usyk's all about legacy, isn't he? I get that impression.
Where do you think Fury's legacy is going to be? If he pulls out
I think if he pulls out the fight, that's going to damage his legacy. I think he's wasted a lot of time over the past few years. He could blame COVID for a wee bit of that, but there's been so many, just too many hold-ups, which is disappointing. And he's getting old. He could get old overnight, and we've probably missed out on the best of him, or what could have been. And the last thing you want, even as a boxing fan, you don't want to have it's kind of like the fan can have regrets that they've missed out on what could have been, as well as the fighter. So it's a two-way thing, isn't it? But I think he could have, talent-wise, I think he could have. I'm not saying he'd beat anybody in any era, but I think he would hold his own. He'd he'd give a good account of himself in any era, just with his boxing ability. But I think discipline's been a bit of a thing, isn't it, for like ballooning up in weight between fights and that. The guys that go on longest, you seem to find have got like Klitschko and that, you never see them out of shape. And same with Usyk. You never see these guys out of shape. Both Klitschko's, in fact. Yeah.
You think Tyson Fury
Just
wouldn't be as good if you took that edge off him?
if you took he wouldn't be as good if you took the edge in.
If you took that edge off Tyson Fury, because he's got that bit of craziness about him, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's maybe what makes him what he is, eh? But then that could be his making and his downfall, I suppose, in some respects. Like talent-wise, he's amazing, but discipline and inactivity, I think, can be the downfall of many a good fighter, eh? Activity is probably a perfect example. That's Parker Wilder, isn't it?
That's what
Parker's been really active lately. A perfect example of inactivity versus activity is Parker Wilder.
Yeah.
Parker's been active, isn't he? And I think that's and maybe Parker's coming of age now. We'll maybe see the best of him now. You might see him improving, but so he doesn't sell himself that great. He's just too nice a guy. He comes across, isn't he? But as far as ability goes, and I think he's got a decent all rounder, isn't he? Maybe doesn't do anything specifically brilliant, but he's a good all rounder. And if he's disciplined, you never see him out of shape, though, do you? I've never seen him coming in like Dillian White coming in about 19.5 stone. You never seen him coming in a bit heavier, but he still looks in shape. I think he was quite heavy against Joyce, which he lost. But I think he does have discipline.
Do you think, Andy, that people might be getting a bit carried away with Joseph Parker's performance against Wilder, considering that he'd had less than a round?
Yeah, I think that's got. I think Parker said that himself, didn't he?
Over 27 months.
Yeah, it's not enough, is it? I mean, Parker said that himself, didn't he? He reckoned inactivity played a part in Wilder's performance, but yeah, Wilder, he's never showed up, did he? Or he was stoned when he showed up. He was just like too passive, wasn't he? There's no sort of fire. There was a wee bit of urgency about him in the 12th, but it's too late by then, wasn't it? Yeah. The game was over.
Yeah, can we give a shout out to Gary at Welcome Estates, who is a good friend of mine. I haven't spoken to him for a couple of months, but he's been ill. He's been very ill. Gary's the guy who used to do the diet videos with on here, and he sponsored the channel for a year, and he was bang on. It was bang on, honestly. It was bang on, proper stood bang on, and he still does a lot of work with Peter Fury behind the scenes. So, Gary, I hope you're well. Sorry to hear that you've not been very well. I hope you're well. I heard you got down to 15 stone 4, lad. Keep at it. You'll get there. All right. Remember, sack all that old mad and just eat healthily. Eat what you want. Just eat in moderation, Gaz. Exercise every day, and you'll be all right. Yeah, it's not good, and your mum's not very well, is she, Andy?
Yeah, she unfortunately had a stroke. Yeah, so she's in hospital at the moment. So we're up there most days. She's making slow progress, but it's a long road.
How old you?
It's not nice to watch.
How old you?
75.
Yeah, my
75.
Not nice.
It's not old nowadays, really. Yeah. No, it's just nice. But we wish all these people good health for the coming year, the new year, and all the viewers and members and followers and what.
Raise a glass to old friends and new friends, Andy. Go on, there you go.
Yeah. Good health.
I hope everybody who's out there, who's on Skid Row or who's a millionaire or whoever, no matter what you've got, I just hope you're all right. And that you're warm tonight and you're somewhere warm and you've got some food in your belly and you get a good night's sleep. That's how I look.
Health and happiness.
Yeah, take every day as it comes.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Tomorrow's promised to nobody, is it? So
yeah,
it's not a dress rehearsal, so we're here to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah. I want to ask you about Derek Warchizora to finish off the video, the part 3. Where do you think he goes now in from here? Derek Warchizora, aka Scooby fucking Doo.
Has he got Umar's job at IFL? Did I
I
see him
don't like
interviewing
Derek
people for
Chisora.
IFL?
I think he's a fucking prick. But go on, tell me what you think about the situation. Well, I'll just deal with this very large
I see
scotch here that I've got here.
Macallan on the rocks. I seen him doing interviews for IFL. I don't know what was going on there, but has he threatened Coogan to get a shot of a microphone or something?
You know, if
I don't
Dennis,
know.
do you know if Dennis were here now? Do you know what he'd say to me? He'd say, "Why are you drinking that out of that stupid beaker thing?" And I said, "Wish you could get more in it, bigger ice cubes." And he'd go, "You don't drink whiskey out of a glass like that." You know, if he were here now, he'd be going berserk at me.
You want a whiskey glass like that? That's what
I'm saying this job.
apparently.
Really, I just like a Budweiser. I mean, I'm like Clinton Woods. Clinton Woods drinks Budweiser by the bottle when he goes
Does he?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes to the bar and gets two. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it's only drink a lager you can guarantee that nobody's like mixed in it if it's coming out in the bottle.
Ah,
Let's say
yeah.
it, you can't trust these in working men's clubs and these British legions, can we? And the pubs. Because I've got family members and relatives and ex-in-laws and usually exes because I was a split with everybody I go with. I fall out with every cunt, don't I? Listen, mate. Everybody I not listen. We know what's going on, don't we?
Yeah. He got
It is what it is, isn't it, kid? So
that's it.
when you go into the next big rally show then?
There's a rally in February, I think. My son keeps me right. He keeps me right on the rally, and he's a massive rally fan. So I think there's one at Knockhill in February, but it's just a small one, just a small rally. I'm not sure when that last thing we were at the RAC rally. That's only every 2 years. He was telling me. So
Yeah.
it's a historic rally, but Lancia Stratos, Mark II Escort, RS 1800s, and all that kind of stuff. And that was brilliant. That was really good.
Remember that Escort RS 1800s? Is that
What's a mint? Them things. What's a fuck?
engine then?
That's a BDA engine. So I think that engine was built by Cosworth originally.
Yeah, because that
Uh,
RS 1800, it's as fast as the RS 2000 Mexico, isn't it?
oh, probably fast. I think the actual rally ones. I think though it's called an RS 1800. I think the rally ones are a 2 litre engine, but it's a twin cam 16 valve thing, high revving thing. The one that Oliver Solberg was rallying it was revving to something like 10,000, 10,500 RPM or something. Really, really high revving engine.
Well, my mate from Edlow, Scott Thorpe, he get about 40 bags for Escort Mark 1. Because
Mark One.
all my age group, where I grew up, if you had a Mark 1 Escort, you were rock hard. You know,
You got an RS 1600 in the Mark One,
I can't, well, the one Scott had, well, basically what it were a brand new body shell. If it weren't a brand new body shell, it would have been one that would have been dipped and then redone. You know, it would
Yeah.
have been a brand new body shell, and then everything just brand new parts fitted on it, brand new Cosy engine, turbo, chipped, and big brakes and bucket seats and all that. It was like nearly 40 grand's worth. And
Proper thing, yeah.
I said to him, what did it go like? And he was like, oh, frighteningly. Frightening, you know, around country lanes. But then when I was talking to him about it, he had like a Nissan GTR, and like he wasn't as quick as that. But the Nissan wasn't that far faster than it, if you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Because
You know?
Escort were only weigh about 800 kilo.
Yeah, well, that is that all the way.
They're about that, I think. Somewhere about that region. They're very light compared to nowadays cars.
Have you thought about tackling one yourself at your place and doing one from scratch to, or are you too much on?
Too much on, I would say. I'd have to get myself a garage to do it in as well. I don't have premises to do something like that. So, well, one of my pals does actually. He's got a workshop. He could do that kind of thing, and he could rent a bit of his workshop and do that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's getting the time, eh?
you've got a garage, haven't you?
No, I do all my stuff outside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Curbside motors.
Curbside motors. That's a good one, that curbside motors.
But it's getting time, eh? When you've got a young family and that, you know yourself, your time's limited, eh?
Yeah. What do you think to that Jay Opatia?
He looks a bit lively, eh? He's something else, isn't he? I'm going to nip the toilet. Give me a second, I'll just nip the toilet. Maybe second.
Well then. And the off there to drain the main vein. Well, it is Friday, the 29th of December at 12:18. Is it 18 on that? No, it's 16 on my phone. So that must be too fast on that over there. Yeah, I think I must have got that a few years ago off ex-mother-in-law. Somebody probably got it here in fucking 80s. I don't even call them ex-mother-in-laws, I just call them ex-outlaws, because if there's any man out there, right, who's listening to me now, I'm not saying I'm a fucking influencer or like that, because I'm not. I'm just a mouthy ex-car thief and ex-junkie. I'm going to say this. You know, mother-in-laws, they're just skid marks, aren't they? Mother-in-laws just put the nose into everything, don't they? They put the snout into every bit of business. And I just want to say that. I would
Back
just
in
say
the room.
mother-in-laws, Andy. They put the fucking snout into everything.
Who's that?
Mother-in-laws, don't they? They put the snout in everything.
Mine doesn't actually. Mine's brilliant, eh? Doesn't bother us about anything, eh? So couldn't buy a mother-in-law like I've got.
Yeah.
I'm
God,
lucky, yeah.
God,
Yeah.
you're lucky, you mate.
One of the lucky few.
You think Kent will ever get married?
You can never say never, eh? You never know, but is he a happy bachelor?
Kent, women love you, men want to be you, so don't you worry about pulling a bird, Kent. Don't you be getting mixed up with them, because let me tell you this. 99.9% of women out there, Kent, are scrubbers. All right. So be very careful. Pop, pop,
Be
bang.
careful who be careful who he gives his milk tray to. Was he not a milk tray man for a wee while?
Kent doesn't eat milk tray, does he? Kent's a bare stick of celery, stick of carrot,
I
and
think I think there was a thumbnail one time I'm dressed as a milk tray man. Was it because he wore the polo neck shirts, wasn't it? Black polo necks.
Kent don't drink alcohol or eat crisps. He's a serious dude, Kent. Women love him, men want to be him. I keep telling you, pal.
The hardcore's hardcore.
I love Kent.
He's a great guy, isn't he?
Kent, come back to Poker's Corner. We need you back on. Don't sack us off. Go. No, I just like him. I like Kent. Big Richard. Like,
You're a good guy, isn't he? Good guy.
Big Richard's closer to Kent than me. But yeah, they're bang on. I see Richard a lot, but him and Kent are bang on. Listen, Kent is ex-boxer. Hey, let me tell you this. He can fight, Kent.
Yeah.
Kent, you know all these that give him stick on here? Let me tell you this. Kent will get stuck into any of you trolls on here who keep emailing me about why you having Kent on. He's a geek, he's this and that. Well, get your gloves on, get stuck into Kent, right? And let's see how tough you are. Because
See how far you get.
He can fight. He can
think
fight.
we're